Hey guys, I forgot to mention all of these techniques have one big underlying thing that they focus on, and that is not switching tasks. Because task switching, multitasking, there's studies showing that it wastes more time, gives you more stress, creates more clutter. Think of it this way. If you are multitasking a big task with a small task, that's fine. I can drive, I can change the radio channel at the same time. But when you're doing something that has lots of windows open just for one task, and then you have to close all that just to do a ad hoc thing, and then go back to that one, it's like you've gone from gear 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've climbed into a state of flow, and then you have to start from gear 1 again. And that's disrupting your flow. So there are times you won't be able to help this, but try not to multitask too much thinking you're being productive, because in a lot of cases you're not. And I know I make a lot of mistakes when I have too many big tasks going on at the same time. I have to focus more, I have to use a lot more energy just to keep things in my head, which I don't want. So enjoy. Hey folks, so this time I got asked a question on how to manage time for people struggling to keep their tasks up to date, keep up with deadlines. First thing I would suggest is get to know what kind of work you are doing and if you can move things around. The other big thing I would ask you to find out for yourself is what kind of worker are you? How do you study best? How do you work best? How do you learn best? If you're really struggling, and mostly it's for people who can't sit or can't organize themselves really well. So there's something called mode, which I used to talk to people when I was freelancing and I was in that community, is when you're going into just total work mode. You put everything on airplane mode, use a separate laptop or whatever you need to do just to get away from things like notifications, email notifications. Even when I'm working, I've switched my notifications. You know that little pop-up in the corner or top corners or bottom corners that you get? I don't want that. That agitates the hell out of me. So when I go into more mode, phones are away. All my tabs are closed. Only what I need, and even that I'm very careful, and you will have to exercise this muscle of being sure that you constantly keep coming back. Maybe put a 1 minute timer that a bell goes off. Are you on track? Are only the tabs open that you need open? There's also all kinds of apps, there's programs to help you focus on your task. So if it's a real problem, I would suggest getting one of these apps. Another technique for people who can't focus a lot is called the Pomodoro technique. But basically you get a timer and you set that to a set amount. If 20 minutes is too long for you, you can even start with 1 to 5 minutes. See how you go with that, exercise that muscle, and then when the timer goes off, treat yourself, go for a walk, go for a coffee, or just don't treat yourself too much, because then it gets unhealthy. But take a break. Set your timer again. When you're ready, do it again. If after maybe 4 or 5 cycles, then you can have a better, more fulfilling reward. Or there's this other thing called Eat the Frog, popularized by Brian Tracy, who I really admire for his works. But I think Mark Twain was the main originator of it. Anyway, the point is, they say do the most important thing or the largest task as your first thing, because you've eaten the frog. After that, everything else is going to taste better, easier tasks. Everything else is going to be easier. I kind of disagree on that one, because using my gym mentality, I like doing warm-ups. I like when I wake up, I do actually enjoy fuffing about, getting into that mode. When my alarm goes off, I don't want to just jump and start doing my work. That's not my style. So I know my style. Maybe your style, you can do that. I personally don't like it. So I will anyway have to check my emails to make sure that I'm prioritizing what needs to be actioned. So that those could be your warm-ups. Another method is the Ivy Lee method. And this one is a bit different because it suggests you do something the night before. You make a list of 6 things. I don't know why 6 was the chosen number, but you pick 6 things that you're going to do the next day. And then when you get to the next day, that is all you focus on. Those 6 things. Now, I read a book called The One Thing, it was just one sentence. But this guy broke it down into a whole book, like they usually do these days. But it was still good. It was still a good change of mindset. And the quote goes something like, "What is the one thing I can do such that by doing so, I can eliminate everything else, or it becomes unnecessary," or something like that. And you can use that for this Ivy Lee method. Focus on that one thing and focus on only that one thing. Once you finish that one thing, you can move on to the next one, and whatever is remaining you carry forward in your list and add until you have 6 more. Choose your number. I don't know why 6 is a big one. Okay, next one is Eisenhower matrix. It's a matrix, yeah? So it's 4 boxes, 2 columns, 2 rows. So let's say, because you're going to see it the other way, urgent, not urgent, important, not important. So urgent and important, you just do. Not urgent and important, you schedule. Not important but urgent, you delegate. And not urgent, not important, you delete. If you're struggling with any specific kind of tasks, I have some solutions for that, like using categories for emails, making notes in Word documents, using stickies in PDFs. There's just so many solutions for a lot of things. So feel free to ask, and I'm more than happy to give you my 2 cents. See you next time. Things like that. I need to stop saying things like that and things like that and things like that. Just things like that. Things like that. How you can use this technique. How you can use this model